So I've been moving house over the last week, hence why the pause in uploads and the echoey room now, but I come back to discover all of this. In 2 days, my Toy Story 4 video exploded by 150,000 views in 2 days. So let's make some more movie content. Movie Mondays and video game Fridays. With the exception of today, just to see if also making film videos is actually viable. Sound good? If you prefer some gaming content, I'll be streaming 100 Mario Maker 2 online matches tomorrow on Twitch, so do look forward to that. So moving away from Pixar, I want to talk about the new Jumanji film. The new trailer just released earlier this week, and honestly, I think I have higher hopes than most. It's very much the same story as when the previous film came out. Many people had their doubts, thinking it was tarnishing a piece of Robin Williams. Some people claimed the trailer looked pretty bad, and the concept seemed intriguing, but potentially really awful in writing.
I'm an overweight middle-aged man.
And once the film actually hit the big screens, people were pleasantly surprised, myself included. I'd go far enough to say that it was probably the first successful video game movie ever, by technicality, and only Detective Pikachu has really shared that achievement now. So with the word of a new sequel coming into the works, I was initially excited. The general concept seems great and has a lot of potential. The recurrence of people playing other characters.
You're Spencer's grandfather.
Are we in Florida?
And you?
Milo Walker. Did I die and turn into some kind of a small, muscular Boy Scout?
Are we dead?
The integration of video game tropes and the general hijinks and gimmicks that can be thrown into the mix. Needless to say, I was pretty hyped to see what people could come up with in the next one. I mean, Gillian wants to play an old man? Yes, please, I can only imagine. And now here we are, and the pieces are coming together. Spencer, the main nerdy kid from the first film, is tinkering with the broken Jumanji game and vanishes. His friends show up looking for him and are sucked into the game, along with Spencer's grandpa Danny DeVito and his friend Danny Glover.
We haven't even picked our guys yet.
Oh, I hate this part. All right.
And much like before, they all commandeer in-game avatar characters. Danny DeVito controlling The Rock, Danny Glover controlling Kevin Hart, Fridge controlling Jack Black, and Martha playing Gillian again. There's literally 2 old man characters and Gillian's stuck with the same character? Whatever. With most of the bodies swapped anew, there's room for more jokes to play out with the same iconic faces. Kevin Hart is now the god of strong legs rather than small ones.
Look at my thighs.
Look at your thighs.
Look at my thighs.
Okay.
The Rock is less nerdy and more confused about everything, and Jack Black / Fridge is still getting the brunt of the game. And there's some missing elements too. Spencer is obviously nowhere to be seen, and Bethany seems to have been teleported somewhere else. But from the looks of the trailer clips, Nick Jonas will be the avatar for one of them, and Jumanji newcomer Awkwafina will also be about. And this has some more opportunities to play with, like, why is Spencer tinkering with the game? Did he just want to explore the technologies and started this accident? Or was it intentional? Did he want to return to his buff status as The Rock? And if so, how would he react being the average Nick Jonas, or now turned woman with Awkwafina? Does he still have a further goal he wants to achieve in-game? Is he trying to complete it even, like a hardcore gamer? And what about Bethany? In the last round, she was playing Jack Black and fell in love with Nick Jonas and his player.
It looks like you're giving him one of your lives.
I'm okay with that.
What if you need it for yourself?
I want Alex to come home too.
So if she now warps into her crush, what hijinks could happen there? That can be shown on screen, of course. Plus, becoming a guy twice would be a bit of a running theme. Or what about Awkwafina's character? If she is an avatar, what's her purpose or her weaknesses? What if she's some kind of villainous character that the player can become whose goal is to sabotage the other player, making it more competitive this round rather than cooperative? If that is the case, will she be stuck in the game if the others win? Or if not, then why is she spawned somewhere else entirely? There's also Dania Ramirez, who's been given a significant role, though IMDb won't tell who that is. Perhaps she is the new villain instead, or another avatar. Or hey, if we're going with video game tropes, maybe she's the damsel in distress. Or more modernly, she's a Lara Croft style NPC. Maybe she follows a bit more on the adventure, but isn't quite as human as the others, obviously. She can swing confidently across all sorts of dangers, leaving DeVito bewildered, Glover admiring and flirtatious, Gillian following closely behind, and Jack Black falling to the depths. But that's just a thought of mine. By the way, this week I made an official Instagram account. Check me out as Dazz Reviews on Instagram and see more of my life away from the screen, if you want to. Speaking of video game tropes, obviously the last film covered a good chunk with stats, multiple lives, cutscenes, NPCs and respawning, but there could be room for more. There's always room for improvement. One we actually see in the trailer is the concept of worlds and their different themes. World 1 was the jungle from the last movie, and this time we'll be exploring desert levels and mountainous snow levels, though we also see more of the jungle as well. I wonder if each regional theme will also be shaped like the original board game like the jungle was in the last movie. Last time we also saw a little dig into cutscenes whereby players are automatically placed in a moving scene to understand some context or lore.
We need your help at once.
Guys,
What's happening?
Okay, what the hell is going on?
I think it's a cutscene.
But what if in the next level, QuickTime events are incorporated as well? And though the players can't stop moving forwards, they'll have to duck or jump or choose a direction to swerve to in order to avoid, I don't know, a boulder or a crashing plane or something. Or maybe instead of just walking, they're in a car to swerve with, or in the middle of some backstory fight scene against a giant titan of some kind. Most likely I'm imagining something more like a Temple Run-esque kind of scenario, or just a recurring gag of Fridge getting smacked by random projectiles from off screen. Another trope they could do is perhaps add a minor subplot with a side quest as a moral action that could be done for a better reward later on, or something that the players can argue about whether to actually do or not. Another small thing could be the level goals. With the trailer showing off multiple world themes, maybe there are definitive endpoints, whether it's a simple portal, a string of ribbon, a podium with an item, or keep it classic with a giant flagpole to slide down. Though it also kind of looks like the transition could just be Nigel flying the characters from one terrain to the next. That's kind of like Left 4 Dead, I guess. Let's move on from gaming tropes, because I expect there can't be too many added anyway without clogging up the actual plot. Generally, I'm pretty excited to see the new jokes the writers can create out of this sequel, or how they can recycle some of the old jokes into new and fresh ones, but I have seen a handful of people have their doubts about it too. After all, if this trailer is to be believed, then there's a good amount of jokes that could come back again. A creature unexpectedly attacks Jack Black. Again, there's another stats reading scene. Again, Karen Gillian is controlled by the same player. Again! Sorry, I just can't get over that. To me though, I have a bit more faith. The smouldering stare joke, for example, works quite well the second time. Fridge is already tired of its existence.
It's a stupid face you make. Huh?
The smolder has great auditory timing with Danny DeVito's eh.
Huh?
And it follows up with a new response of old men trying to look out for each other's health.
What's going on? You having a heart attack? Breathe. Breathe. His whole left side is shutting down. Eddie.
Overall, it's the same core joke, but the context around it adds something new and refreshing, which kind of makes me want to see what else can be reviewed in a new, fresh light. Now, there is a chance that this won't live up to its predecessor. It's got some pretty big shoes to fill once again, and there's a chance that it'll just get tiring. We already get the premise, so it'll have to work that extra little bit to keep things new. And even if it does, maybe some jokes just won't be as good as last time. I personally prefer the hippo over the anaconda.
That old game machine must have electrocuted us an hour. Oh my god!
You better get in there and save her.
I'm not gonna get in there. You get in there.
I got a backpack on. You don't get in water with a backpack. Everybody knows that.
And maybe if Spencer is Aquafina this time, then the male in a female's body jokes just don't tickle people as well as Jack Black's teenage girl impression.
Oh my god, you guys, there's like literally a penis attached to my body right now. Martha, come look at my penis!
no thanks.
What are you doing? Are you looking?
Sorry.
You don't look over here.
You never look. It's a thing.
Wow. Wow. Wow! Oh, this is so much easier! The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
Who knows? I've already been stunned by how flawlessly it adapted the original Robin Williams version into a fitting style for the next generation, so I guess we'll just have to see if it can stun us all again with a follow-up sequel. I personally have some pretty high hopes for the film, but I can kind of understand the concerns some have as well. But let me know your thoughts. Are you into this new Jumanji film? Did you like the last one? And what new jokes and concepts could you imagine being introduced this time around? Get out your predictions now so we can judge if you got it right. Or made something even better than the actual script when the film comes around. And what other movie content would you like to see in the future? Maybe the live-action Lion King coverage? Or some thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home instead? As for now, I'm gonna leave it off here. Check out my new Instagram if you want to see more of my personal life and all those other things as well. But for now, my name's been Dazz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit. And yeah, I apologise for the echoiness. It'll go soon when I get some soundproof pads or something. We'll see. In a bit.
I have one important question. Who is Jumanji?
Is that Barbara's boy?
We're gonna die.
We did die.
Are we in hell?
I knew it.
Oh my god.